In order to be great at something, you have to truly desire it. And so no matter how many times you may be pushed down or told that you can't do something, you always have to keep trying. And the characters of Haikyuu know this all too well. Countless times each of them have experienced failure, disappointment and sadness, but nonetheless they continue to chase after their ambitions. Whether it be striving to be an amazing volleyball player or going to the national tournament, every single member of Karasuno High has a resolution so strong that they will not let anything get in their way. And perhaps the battle that each character has the most trouble with is their very own self. Perhaps trying to keep up their iron will is in fact the hardest part. Dealing with the volleyball match loss or seeing your rival get ahead of you can lead to huge devastation and sadness, but to keep up the same level of determination even after all of the troubles and never letting it fall or falter is the hardest part of getting to the top, and undoubtedly the most crucial. To always bide by your resolve that you had in the beginning and always believing in yourself with the highest level of esteem. Because many times you will doubt yourself and question whether you truly can reach your goal or not. And in the case of our main character in Haikyuu, Hinata, he always has to go through the toughest of experiences, to see that his rival is held in much higher regard than himself, or to find out that all of his hard work can be outdone by pure talent. For many people, just these two alone can be enough for someone to give up on their dreams and chase after something else. But Hinata has managed to endure many of these situations and is still able to stay as confident and as happy as he was in the beginning with himself. And to desire greatness in something this desperately is a rare talent that is not found in many. The initial catalyst that made Hinata so eagerly chase after his dreams was when one day in middle school he stumbled across a TV screen on his bike. In our eyes, it may have seemed just like any other old high school volleyball match, but in his view, he saw an epic stadium with a tiny man who flew across the skies with the birds, playing the best and coolest position, the ace. A sly yet majestic crow gliding gracefully onto the young Hinata, and that was the very moment when a spark ignited within him. He imagined flying on the court and smacking down the ball onto the ground with all of his might, and he imagined the huge cheers of the crowd and the feeling he would get hitting the ball with his palm. It was as though the very sport spoke to him, as though volleyball was handcrafted and tailored for the young Hinata, and so irresistibly he was hooked and in love with the sport. So from then on, he would practice and work tirelessly to get to the position that this tiny giant was in, to be in a national game and to experience that majesticity firsthand. And it isn't just Hinata who has such a strong desire. All of the characters in Haikyuu have such a massive underlying motivation within them that makes them want victory so much. Personally, I never was particularly a fan of sports anime. Shows like Kuroko no Basket never really spoke to me, and nor did I really enjoy them. However, Haikyuu was somehow different. It was less about the actual sport matches but more about the underlying narrative that was crafted within the match. It was instead a tale of determination and desire for greatness and the story of a young boy's journey. And so each volleyball match would hold a very heavy yet deep weight. The hardships that the characters had been through before the events of the match ultimately led to a very complex story within each character for every single match. The build up to each match, that was the whole anime, was crafted in a way so that each volleyball game would not only feel equally as important but also kept it feeling new even after so many episodes had passed. This was able to make us as the audience completely hooked into the universe of Haikyuu. It made us jump whenever a spike play was made, scream whenever Karasuno High won a set, shed a tear when the characters lost, and it kept us at the edge of our seats when a match was close. This aspect of the characters' desiring greatness can be easily passed off by many viewers. However, I believe that it is one of the most important reasons as to why this anime is as popular as it is today. At the end of the day, this is why each sports match can hold so much weight. It is because they are a story, a narrative about individual growth and perseverance. Because by the end of every single game, someone in the team has progressed as an individual in a truly profound manner. The differences within a character's attitude in terms of mindset and attitude vary wildly from the first episodes of the show into the current. Each episode is an extra step that leads to the end of the journey, or when every significant individual in the cast has finally achieved greatness in their own way. Currently, we are right in the middle of that voyage. And so as every single minute of the show plays, we are experiencing the growth of a character so that eventually everyone will have finally completed the goals that they had set out to achieve at the start. And I feel as though this is what separates Haikyuu from the rest of the other sports anime. It is able to give weight to what is happening in a way that is much more carefully crafted out than the generic shonen risks that we usually see of not making it to the team or not winning the game. When in reality, if those events were to happen, there would be far more consequences that each person would have to deal with than the simple disappointment of just losing. And even more than that, the show is able to provide weight to a match that is not about the actual sport but more about the characters. Because for many anime, it is the specific sport that the show is about that is focused on the most. So this would mean that if you don't care about the sport, you will not particularly care about the anime. But Haikyuu is able to make it so that even if you don't care about volleyball, you will still enjoy the show equally as much as those who do, because it is ultimately about the characters and the desire of greatness within that truly does matter. Well, this is the end of the video. I really do hope you all enjoyed it. Comment down your favorite part of this anime, or if you haven't seen it yet, your favorite show. If you've made it this far, you're a real one. If you did manage to make it this far, that probably means that you enjoyed this video, so please be sure to hit that like button. It's free and will encourage me so much to keep making more videos. Consider subscribing to see more content like this and be sure to ring that bell. Otherwise, I hope to see you all soon. Peace.